We have a great panel before us, and we have about an hour and a quarter to discuss this very topical issue. So, at the outset, it will be my privilege to request the members of the panel to say a few words on the subject based on their experience and expertise, and then we'll open the session for discussion. May I invite Dr. Gita Gyani? Please.
Speak from sitting here? Yeah, okay, thank you, Dr. Nagpal. I think, so let me be the opening batsman. The Quality Council of India is basically a body which is responsible for creating the national accreditation structure. And one of the board of the QCI is the NABH. I'm sure those of you who are from the health industry, they are aware about National Accreditation Board for Hospitals and Healthcare Providers. You see, there are one or three things which I like to mention when we are talking of the HIS or the use of information technology into the healthcare. You see, one or two things are very important to understand, that the quality which is to be driven in any of the sector basically depends on the demand and supply. You see, unfortunately, so far we have not matched that equation in our country, because supply is far too less than the demand, and if that is going to be the state for quite some time to come, data shown by Dr. Nagpal, I think the quality still will need a greater push, because quality by itself cannot be market driven unless you balance this equation between demand and supply. So this is the one observation. Second observation is that unfortunately, I will say, in this country we never brought regulation. Healthcare in any of the developed nation, even developing nation, remains heavily regulated, because this actually healthcare has got direct impact on the well-being of the citizens. So such service cannot be allowed to remain free for all. But anyway, we know the reasons, because there was a bit of regulation in some of these states. But we had a very bad experience, because we could not really regulate. There was a heavy bureaucracy, discretion-based functioning, and even to some extent some corruption, So that actually we had a bad experience on this so-called regulation. And of course, in these days, the government has become conscious now, and we are coming up with the professional regulatory mechanism like TRI or food safety, IRDA. These are some of the good regulatory practices which have come in our country. Now, similar thing is being thought about in the healthcare also. But let me be very clear on this point, that after 60 years of the independence, where our health industry is now maturing very fast, I will say, there is no way that you can really regulate the way it should have been regulated 60 years back. So I think today we are going to launch in the country, the bill is in the parliament, that a self-regulatory mechanism is being launched for the health industry. So I will say that there will be enough of the freedom, but how do we bring quality? So what I said, neither demand, supply nor regulators, so how do we bring quality? So I think luckily for us, I think the expertise which we have in the healthcare, which is world over, I think the Indian doctors are actually known and world over. With this kind of excellence in the, through the individual expertise, there was a natural way that we started becoming destination for the medical tourism. And that medical tourism, when we started about 5-6 years back, the natural demand or natural question came from the people traveling all the way, that are we going to a hospital where the patient safety protocols, outcomes, are they being practiced as per the international benchmarks? Or in other words, do they have in India any accreditation structure? So from there the story started, and we started developing the accreditation program, and thanks to the health industry, I think they came in a big way, have been joined together, and today we have our own national accreditation program. And the good point is that last year this accreditation standard got approved by the International Society for Healthcare, and that actually means that the hospitals accredited through this standard will have international recognition straight away. So this is, I think, a great landmark which has been achieved now. Now that means the health industry has got one framework available at least, where they can practice the quality. And this demand, as I told you, medical tourism is in any case going to be a very small component, is now being generated gradually by the various drivers. So you know that recently the CGH has made a order they have issued that all hospitals 1 year from now, 18 months from now, only those hospitals will be impaneled which have accreditation. So this is going to be a big driver. IRDA is very fast functioning on this. Corporate houses are functioning on this, and the hospitals, which in any case want to practice excellence, they have got this excellence opportunity. Now, with this little background, I want to now tell you that this standard has got 500 plus objective elements which hospital will have to practice and demonstrate before they are actually considered for accreditation. Now, this kind of massive system just cannot work unless you have the use of intensive information technology. I want to tell you something here that accreditation and the information technology are going to be complementary to each other, because without that they cannot survive. I mean, information technology, without the hospital will not be prepared for accreditation. You see, because in the accreditation, right, the patient safety, that means right from the registration and following all the procedures and processes, and the most important being the medical record, which could be minimum 5 years, 10 years, or 30 years. Once you have to maintain the records of that kind of period, and the details of everything put together, and then the demand coming on hospitals to demonstrate the clinical indicators. A time is going to come very soon that the surgeon's indicators will be picked up from the surgeon's table directly through the sensing mechanism. Now, with all that happening, I think there is a drastic reason for us to look into the expertise in our own country, where of course we are leaders in any case worldwide. So we have to, I think, all the people sitting here from the information technology and two experts sitting on my right here, I think we have this great challenge to design the appropriate platform. One small point here, that even barcoding is going to be part of this whole exercise, HIE standards. So I think all this put together, I think, is a great challenge in front of us, which is going to facilitate the health industry and the patient safety and well-being in our country. So I think to begin with, I want to say that as an accreditation CEO, I am looking forward how actually the information technology or the people sitting here can contribute and join us, people on the health industry, and make this revolution, contribute to the well-being, national well-being of the country.
Tremendous. What a challenge. I think when we talk about clinical governance, unless we have data, which is objective data, captured, archived, audit tracked, it's not possible to do governance. And thank you very much for such an elaborate exposition of this issue. I'm sure that people are already, their gray cells are now twitching and finding out solutions to how can you give us solutions in hospital which are NABH compliant. Thank you very much. Now on my right, it's Dr. Shakti Kumar Gupta, Professor and Head, Department of Hospital Administration from AIIMS in New Delhi. And I request him to say a few words.